Okay, so let's wait till that's 1 minute and then I'll get started. Hey there, Chris. Okay, so I was just waiting till you or Nina got on, so let's get finished with your reading we started yesterday. I explained in the message, I don't know if you've listened to that part of the message yet, but I explained that I already did the top 7. We did the challenges of what might happen, what might be a bit of a challenge, which basically was the Jack of Clubs and the marriage itself, and I think there was 2 women, you and somebody else, that was a challenge with everything about what's going to be happening. And then we got to the middle where we had those 2 fours, which is basically where he tells you something and he tells somebody else something, or he tells the judge something and then he lies about that and then he goes and tells somebody something else. So anyway, let's see. And I'm sure you're in fine spirits tonight for you, after what you've told me. Good on you. Good on you. There we go. So I'm going to set it for 7 just to finish off what we were doing yesterday. So for Crystal, she wants to know continuation on the Larry situation for now and May. What might be the plans? We're moving on to what he might be going to do, also outcomes and what's underneath. So we're just going to be doing 3 rows of 5. But this is not challenges, this is what he might be doing. Actually, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2 rows. 2 rows and bottom of the deck. 1, 2, 3. I think we did look at the bottom of the deck anyway. All right, so what he might be planning on doing, what sort of things outcomes he's hoping to accomplish. Funny enough, you have your King of Clubs sitting in the middle. You have Larry as this because you've got the Jack of Hearts at the bottom. So I'd say that this is the 2 of you, separated by the King of Clubs in the middle. Okay, so his outcome is possibly a reconciliation, an apology, trying to work out what to do now. He still feels that there's a soulmate connection there with the 2 of you. I do believe there is a soulmate connection, but I don't believe that we're meant to be with every soulmate that is in our path. I believe in a soul family. And that's why when you meet somebody that you've never met before, and you feel this instant connection to them, they probably used to be the local butcher, or they used to be your best friend at high school or something like that in a different life. If you believe in alternate realities, maybe they're from an alternate reality. But yeah, his outcome, what he believes he wants to happen, is he wants a reconciliation, soulmate, doing the right thing. The problem is you have Mr. Wonderful in the middle of all of it. So I feel, although he's trying for this, can we sit down, can we come to some agreement about what this is, what we're going to do, I feel that you've got this other thing, because this is your reading, you've got this other energy sitting in amongst this possible plan. Underneath what he doesn't realise is going to happen, we do have somebody as third party sitting in the picture. We have document and anger and, sort of disbelief. We have this was not the plan that I'd put forward, and we have anger about the whole situation. So the bottom of the deck of what might eventually happen is this kind of looks like arguments to me. Arguments over the document of what needs to go forward. It is upright, and the other cards that were at the bottom basically were these three. This would be the court, this would be the surprise, and this would be somebody advising from the outside that this is the thing that needs to happen now. So I do feel that he's going to get very negative eventually about it all, but I do think that to start with, there may be this wanting to try and hook up and talk and sort something out. I think with the two kings though, going away from one being Larry and one being the other energy, I think the two kings are representative of the job, especially with 5 there as well. That there is a need to do the right thing in this situation because his work and career depends on it, depends on a good outcome, depends on him trying his best to try and sort it out. I, from what you've told me, have not seen any movement whatsoever to try and make this thing work. From him, I'm talking about. I have not seen any movement whatsoever. There's been opportunities over the last month. The court, the night out at the church, the phone call. There has been 3 opportunities that I'm aware of where nothing was done. Nothing was done to even have a conversation or try and get on an even path. So this is kind of peculiar to me that this is what he's expecting the outcome to be. But I've got a strange feeling, and especially with news you've told me now, of a recent occurrence, that the outcome is more likely to be this energy that he's got right here. Document needs to be signed, court, anger, frustration, arguments, wrong crowd, wrong people, and third parties on his side of the fence interfering all the way. If you look back over the last 12 months, it's been constant interference, really. Constant interference. If you remove those interfering parties, if you remove them out of there, this whole situation right now, we might be talking about a whole different thing right now. But unfortunately, those third-party situations did step in. One of them that should have been supportive and having their say, but stepping back and letting him as their son decide for themselves, they didn't do that. They were too much involved. So let's see what else is going on. Just to finish this off, we looked yesterday about Larry, what he might be planning for the next 6 to 8 weeks, going towards the end of May. What will be the outcome? Where's he going with things with Chris? What's he want to do? Okay, so the final cards, just to finish off this one that we didn't get done yesterday. My apologies on that, Chris. We have his powers taken away. He feels like the power's gone. He feels anything he did. Remember he said to me that he'd never seen that side of you. And I think that with other people, other energies that he's had in his life, he fully expected that you would get on your knees and beg or crawl or cry. And he didn't get that energy. So I feel that right now he feels that he has no power to do anything. He wants justice. He wants balance to come back in. He also is trying to make something happen. Now, thankfully, this is not upside down with manipulation. He is trying to make something come the way he thinks it needs to be. We do have 10 of Wands, which is usually like just too much of an overload. It is in reverse, so maybe he's making a mountain out of a molehill. Maybe something he thinks is just too hard, he can't sort anything out. Maybe he's just sort of giving up or saying, I just can't do anything about this, it's too insurmountable. And you know how we've got a representative from the other side of the fence for you as the clubs and wands man? We have the outcome being strong and solid with the King of Wands in this reading towards the end of May. And we also have something to do with money. Now this could be loans that were taken, money that's owed to people, whatever. Six of Pentacles financially to me, especially in reverse, would be money that was thought or things that were thought to happen financially, maybe just not going according to that plan. As you know, Six of Pentacles emotionally is where you give a little bit, but you're not giving everything. I feel that this being in reverse is not really giving much at all because of the King of Wands. Regardless of whether he's aware of the King of Wands, who that might be, or how close that is, or how distant that is, I do feel that he knows. He knows that you're strong and there's some sort of support base there. Anyway, last messages. What else does Chris need to know, just to finish this reading, about Larry's movements over the coming weeks and May? Well, this is strange. His movements are move, travel, wanting to go on a journey. He feels he has the key to the success, and then he's got the card that represents the woman, the mother. Now on the table here, she's actually looking that way. She's looking at all of this. So I'd say that he feels that you're going to be moving. I think you informed him that you've got a new job or whatever and you're going to be moving. He feels that you're holding the key to how this is going to turn out. It's all up to you, basically. I don't think he's got a say anymore. I think he's had his chance, and the say that whether that door is going to be open or shut, it's going to be up to you. That's what I feel that means. It could represent his mother, but I don't think so. You know, maybe she's got some idea of what should happen now. Anyway, that's that one. Up next, it was a mini reading, wasn't it, about the job at Nashville position, where they've offered assistance financially with movement and all of that sort of thing. So this was a mini read, this one. So we'll set that for 5. All right, let's go. After this, we have Nina, a reading that I owed her. So Nina, you're up next with yours about your mum, and then after that, I think there may have been a payment from somebody. Alyssa's made a payment. I'll check that in a sec. All right, the position at Nashville, HCA Health Trust. HCA at Nashville. What's the outcome on the position with Nashville job? The first 2 cards are about gaining the position. This is something you're passionate about, and that's a contract. That's making a commitment to what you want to do. But then it's like it interferes with some other plan that you have with somebody. So it's showing that this is not the way you thought things might go. You are very talented. You would be able to do the job with no problem. I'm wondering whether this is an emotional decision, not a financial career decision within this job. That's something stronger than the position, and it changes your perspective of where you would go with it. Any kind of challenges, again, are to do with something outside of the position. And we have a nice surprise coming in. You've got the double twos, which is the contract with the surprise. So I do feel that there's an offer there about this position. You would make new friendships. There would be a working project that you would be involved in that would be quite good. I just feel that there's something else that it doesn't sit with the other plans that you have for your life. So let's say you're sitting down talking to a particular person and making plans about the two of you. Their family, your family, where they work, where you work, where you would live, how that would all work. I feel that this job, I don't feel that you haven't got the job. I just feel that it doesn't line up with what your plan is for your personal life, because your personal cards are coming out in this. In particular, we do have the Jack of Clubs sitting here. And we have, the money would be good. The money eventually would go from 2 to 3 to 8. It's sort of like a progressive step up. You are quite capable, as I said, with this 6 sitting here. The offer is there, but something doesn't line up. So let's just see what the tarots have to say on this one. They may have a different energy around them. I didn't get anything directly saying you've got the job, because the sequence of getting the job, the 2 jacks would have been sitting together with a surprise card or a contract card. There was no actual contract card. There was no aces at all that come out. I just feel that you're going with something else, not this job. So whether this job's on offer and you're thinking, yeah, I could take this, it's got a lot to do with your personal relationships and background as to what you want to do in regards to that, and whether it sits good with those people, with what you want to do. So let's see the Nashville position. Now this is the one where you would have to pack up and move, isn't it? Well, there's a couple of them like that, isn't there? It's like your spirit team is presenting things to you to say it's time for this new start. Staying where you are right now, when you bought that house and when you went into the life you went into this time last year, well, getting close to it, on your birthday. That plan didn't go according to that plan. So it's like your team, what I'm noticing is the jobs are away from where everything is. And it's like, move away from there, new people, new job, new energy, even with the job you had right up until near Christmas time and everything, and then it stopped. If I told you that 12 months before, you would have said, no, that'll, that job will be there until I leave. So anyway, let's see what else. The position in Nashville. And remember I kept saying about, I thought it was going on a holiday or something. And I kept seeing this movement. In the last months, the last 6 months, I'd say, you're going to go somewhere. Maybe this is it. You're going to go somewhere temporarily and then that's it. You move. All right, the last part of it about the job in Nashville, you have the power, you have the Emperor and the Empress sitting side by side. Like, oh my God. You have you showing up here as the Queen of Wands, the hard-working, very desired by these people to be in this position. This is like a match made in heaven as far as the job goes. You would be more than qualified, overly qualified perhaps, for this position. There is something sitting here that's holding you back. The Hermit, to me, this is opposite energy to this. This is full on and strong, and this is it. This is where I'm desired. But I'm also wondering, does this mean, Emperor and Empress to me, is there's other options everywhere around you on the table, okay? So this is you going into a bit of a quiet zone and deciding, is this really what I want? Is this really how it's going to work? You are deciding to put all your ducks in a row and choose one to start with, and you will be celebrating at some point. So just based on these cards, especially with this and the working woman, and then this at the end of it, I'd have to say that you do get the offer. The poker deck was kind of showing that although you get the offer, it'll either be a temporary movement, and I'm wondering if that's why they asked. I felt that the reason they said about would you eventually end up selling your property if you got the job and all the rest of it, that was to see what your commitment was. You know, that are you going to take the job and then move on, or are you going to take the job and you're committed to, that's it, this is where you want to be. They must really, really want you there, you know. Last messages, just 3 cards from the top. What else does Crystal need to know about the Nashville position? How will it go? I'm wondering also, even though I didn't see it there, it just came to mind now. I'm wondering if there's a delay from them, that they say, look, we do want you here, but we're feeling that there's something else that's going to come up when this contract ends with this, and then we want to see where that's at and then bring you in. So they may do a delay, or you may give a delay. So we'll see. What else you need to know is you need to keep your eyes open here. You need to really look at the situation from all angles, not just the job itself, but where would you be living, who lives near there, what happens with your private life in regards to you living there. Is that practical? Is it going to work? You are being told something about sly energy. Now, I think that this might represent quick energy as well, a fleeting kind of thing. And you need to work out, is this the direction for you? Okay, so that's the other card coming out about direction. Okay, up next we have Nina's reading. Nina, let's get going. So Nina's reading is, what does your mum think that your life's been like since you've spoken to each other back in 2021? That's a shame. I'm hoping, I thought that by now maybe you or her would have reached out to each other and finally had a conversation. She's probably very proud if she found out that you completed that degree, and if she's not, me and Crystal are. Okay, what have we got there? I talked to King of Wands. Okay, cool. That's cool. I'm just reading what Chris is saying there. Okay, Nina would like to know, what does her mother feel that her life has been like since she hasn't spoken to her in such a long time? 4 years now. What does Nina's mother feel? She doesn't want to talk. She doesn't want to talk. The Black Five is just saying, it can represent lies, can represent that she feels that there's lies or things like that. There's still a bit of hurt there about what went down between the two of you. So anyway, let's have a look. Now, I told you on the phone earlier in a private message that if the jacks come out, it would represent your brother or sister. The first cards out are something to do with sharp and unexpected kind of energy. She thinks that you're making some sort of money, because this is like feeling like she might know that you did that degree, that you did the schooling, because this can be schooling. But she also feels that you might be actually making money because she hasn't heard from you, you haven't said you need money or you need help, or, you know, there's sort of been no contact. So she may feel that you got some money from somewhere, because this is usually where someone gets some kind of money, some kind of payout or something, but it's also sharp and cold energy. So it could be her being very sharp and cold. And then we have another black 5 here. This is where somebody just doesn't want to know, doesn't want to talk. You know, like the 5s in the tarot, how it's about putting someone out or arguing or all of that, same kind of energy. Like I said, there is something to do with your brother or sister. So maybe your brother or sister has been looking at your Facebook, or they've been looking at your Instagram, and they know what you've been doing. You know, I don't know what you post on these things, but maybe they know a little bit about what you've been doing, or maybe they've been trying to find out. There is a bit of a jealousy feel here, bit of a jealousy kind of feeling here, but the black 3 can be where she feels that you disown them, you stopped talking to them, you took off, you haven't tried to contact them, you haven't tried to see if she's okay, you haven't tried to contact your sister or whatever. So she may feel that you actually took yourself away from them. Even though you've had an argument and all the rest of it, she feels that you did it, okay? Or you did this to yourself. The challenges she has with everything is, well, this is to do with money and stuff like that. I don't know if she feels that if she did reach out to you to talk to you or something like that, that you would ask her for money. You know, you would ask her for some kind of financial assistance or something like that, because it's sitting in the challenge area. She may think that you're working. Now, you do have sex cards here. You do have the 3s everywhere. The 3s are all about sex. So I don't know if she knows about your personal life and what you get up to, but she's got some sort of assumption here about all of this. The other card here in the middle is her. The Queen of Hearts would be her. Now, we're asking what she thinks you've been doing with your life. So this is her thinking that you're with somebody, you're in an engagement, you're going to get married to somebody. So I do know there's been some talk around all of, you know, what you might be wanting in your life and what you might be doing in your life. So whoever it is you're talking to, I feel that someone is going back to your mother or your sister and that, and she's aware of different things that you're doing. She may be fully aware that you did that university certificate. She may also be fully aware of that where you're living and what you're doing. But she does think there's a big tone here that she thinks that you've got money, Nina. The outcome of what she feels is going on is shut out from home. She feels that this is what she needs to do, this is the right thing for her to do, and she feels that the plans of what you're doing is not what she wants to be part of. Bottom of the deck. You may get information from somebody else that she said this or she said that. She may actually ask you for some money coming up. She might get your sister to reach out to you and say, hey, look, you know, mum needs money for this or something. Can you come and talk to her? But I feel that if she thinks that if she did reach out to you, or she found out that you got a car or you got a job or whatever, that she knows that it would be a big argument, because this is about argument and hanging around the wrong people. She may think that you've got involved in drugs or some kind of illegal activity, gambling, drugs, drinking, or just illegal things. She may think that that's what you're doing. There's male energy here around that, okay? She might be aware of who you're currently talking to as well. All right, let's just see what you've got in tarots. And up next we've got Alyssa. I'm going to move straight onto that. We'll take one more reading after Alyssa's reading, and then probably I'm going to go offline. I'll just check PayPal after this reading. So if anybody else is waiting, it doesn't look like they are, but if anybody else is waiting to pay for a reading, now would be the time to do it. Okay, what else does Nina's mum thinks going on with Nina and what might happen. Wow. Wow. Do you really want to know what the tarots have to say? You've got the death card coming out. Now, I've heard in some families where they have a massive, massive fight and they never want to see the person again. And not that the person has died, but they say that person no longer exists to me. So I do feel that that's possibly why that has come out. It also could just represent that she feels that you've cut off your family and that they're dead to you, that you don't want anything to do with them because you've moved on with your own life. She also feels that, you know, you're giving out to people, you're giving things to other people, you're having nothing to do with them. And she's trying to still heal from whatever it was that went down between the two of you. I do remember what you told me, what she believed that you did. Pretty mega. The other things showing up here, Nina, are lying, cheating, hidden things. She feels that there's a lot of hidden energy going on around you. She does think that, you know, you're doing well because of the sunshine here. She feels that you're probably fine. You know, you've got an apartment, yeah, maybe you've got a job, maybe you've got income coming in. But she's also got this 10 of spades where I feel that some of the energy in the reading, Nina, is where she doesn't want to reach out or anything, and she's thinking you've never reached out, and if you do, I don't think she wants to go down that track with you again. So, yeah. So it's either the energy that she's cut you out and she doesn't want nothing to do with you, or she feels that you've done that to them and that you just, that's... All right, let's just get 3 of these. What else does Nina need to know about her mother? I was really hoping that you might reach out to each other. Maybe you can get somebody to send her a message, show her a picture of your certificate that you got, and just say, just wanted to let you know that I've got my own place and I'm paying my bills and I'm, you know, keeping myself fed and clean, and even in all of this and on my own, I got accomplished a certificate, and I hope you're proud. You know, I hope that somehow you're proud of me. I am your daughter. So yeah, anyway, that's just my little bit of advice, but yeah, here we go. But we're proud of you, Nina. We're proud that you got that done and that you're looking after yourself. And alrighty, because sometimes you just can't rely on other people, and that's the way it is. What else she thinks? She does think about reaching out, or you're going to reach out to her or something. This is usually where somebody's going to communicate. She does think that you're okay. She knows that you've got a place, and that somebody's told her that you've got an apartment, that you're fine. But she's also got the card of listening to the wise old owl, you know, being wise with your choices. All right, so up next we have Alyssa. My acrylic nail business. Mini read on this, and question 2, general reading on May mini. So 2 minis. So you wanted to know, question 1, will you be ready to launch the acrylic nail business? Will I be ready to launch one? When? Will you be ready when? Or is that what you mean? When will you be ready? Okay, launch the business. That's big business here. I think the girls that work in the salons here are Vietnamese and Korean, mostly. Yeah. So, launch acrylic nail business, and the other one was just general for May. Okay, so we might have room for one more if anybody is online waiting. If somebody does come in, I'll take on one more after this, because this is only 2 minis, which is equivalent to like 1 detailed, a little bit more than that. All right, so let's get going. Acrylic nail business. Alyssa is waiting to launch her acrylic nail business. Will this all eventuate, and will it be successful? How will it go for Alyssa? Her acrylic nail business, will she be ready to launch it soon? And how will it go? Oh, Chris, you donated again. You're getting in before somebody else does, eh? Yeah, we were going to be at the club tomorrow, but I think that we're going to give it a miss tomorrow. And then we're going to go on Friday, I assume, because he's got a competition on Saturday, Sunday. All right. You got double 8. Now, double 8 is really good with business, especially if they're both red, but you haven't got both red. You've got one black, which is the work, paperwork, discussions, getting it all ready. Something that has to be sorted out. This could be what kind of insurance have you got? Have you read through the insurance? When is it due? Do you have to have any kind of medical kind of training for if something goes wrong? You know, like if someone has an allergic reaction, or you accidentally cut the finger and they're a diabetic and they start bleeding, like, you know, things like that. So I don't know if that's where you're going to do a little bit more involved with making sure that everything is covered, and that you have everything in place ready for a problem. Okay, you will be very happy once you get everything off the ground. Now, you do have double 8, so I'm wondering whether the launch is going to be on the 8th, or whether the launch is 8 weeks' time, or far away like August or something. There is something that is delayed here, because think of 5s as outside of your house, which is a business, a job, and it's got a overseas or a travel or something. So I don't know if you've got any kind of issues with the products that you're going to be using, where they're coming from, how much they cost. If you planned this business a year ago, have the costs changed dramatically of where you're going to source your products from, how much they're going to cost? Have you already got bulk stored up, ready to go? But yeah, I do see that it's not easy, because you've got a lot of black energy here. So let's just see how it pans out. If there was someone supposed to be helping you, I do feel that this person might not turn up, or this is normally to do, when we're looking at business, the 10 would represent rules and regulations, what the law has to say about it. Is it illegal? Are you allowed to do this? Where you're going to be doing it? Are you allowed to use a particular product, or is it banned in your state? All of these sort of things. I feel that this is something to do with paperwork and rules and regulations and all of that. This would be where you want to start the work, but you're needing someone's help with something here. It may also mean an overload, like what are you going to do if you get overbooked with people? Who are you going to bring in to help you? Make sure that that person's covered as well. I don't know over there, but I know Australia, if you're doing conducting any kind of business, you've got to be really careful, especially if you're doing it from home. Your middle cards are the learning and the skills and everything you've got to do. I do see a lot of love work here. When I see love work, I'm wondering where the diamonds are. You got hearts everywhere, you got the work everywhere, but it's an up and down, frustrating energy for some reason. Let's just see what your tarots say. The buzzer is going, so let's see what the tarots have to say. Alyssa wants to know, is her acrylic nail business going to be ready to launch? It's looking dicey for some reason. I'm just wondering, where are all the diamonds, you know? You do have the Emperor was the only card that flipped upright on the table, so that's taking care of responsibility, taking care of power, getting everything happening. It could be a support too. You may be getting pushed by somebody, come on, start the business now. You've been saying this for however long, start the business now. So don't be pushed. What else does Alyssa need to know about the launch of her acrylic nail business? Okay, working together hard with somebody else, celebrating the launch, somebody not being there or not doing what they said they would do. So let's say you got some friend and she said that she would come on certain days for you. Be prepared for her not turning up or not doing what she needs to do, because it's your business, not hers, and she doesn't owe anything. You know what I mean? She can do it as she pleases. It may also mean that you may have a falling out with somebody that you're planning on working with. So that could be a problem as well. The bottom card is the justice and balance and finally working. So will it launch soon? I just see that there's a few complications around it for some reason. Let's see what other messages you've got about this acrylic nail business that you're going to be launching. What else does she need to know, just to finish off? And then we get on to your second reading, which was just a general for May. Okay, so you've learnt all your skills. You need to remember from the past, anything that could go wrong, assume that it could go wrong. Don't just sort of brush over it. Some things will be a bit of a burden for you. I feel there's some kind of personal matter going on in the background that is creating drama for the business. So let's say your mother isn't well and you want to launch the business, but you've got to go and look after your mother. Something like that. So I feel that either it's somebody that's supposed to help you in the business or somebody that you've got to go and sort out, and it interferes with your journey, okay? You also have you looking on the whole events of how to make things work better, but it's not going to be easy. You do have the mountains in regards to this job. It all looks good on paper, but it might be a lot more than first expected. What I'm surprised about though is there was no diamonds show up in the business there. Okay. All right. No, that was the first mini, Chris. I was doing the acrylic nail business. The second mini is the, was it in the other order, was it? I thought the acrylic nail business was the first question. The second one was just a general for May, a mini. Okay, so that's it. That's what I get for that one. That's that reading finished. I just want to go out of here and check on PayPal. Detailed reading, and Alyssa, we've got your mini for May coming up. Chris, are we doing your next question online or is it a private? Just let me know. All right. Mini. All right, here we go. General messages for Alyssa for May. General messages for Alyssa for May. It doesn't look like there's anybody else came in the room. So Chris, yours will be the last one. And then, as I said, possibly I'll be online on Friday. Tomorrow, if we're not going anywhere, I probably will get my house ready for my family coming next week, so it's all done. Here we go, Alyssa, good luck. May. Alyssa, I'm not sure, but in May there is some kind of loving reunion kind of thing here, or an invitation from this guy here. It could be a work contract being signed in May, because this could stand for work, something you're passionate about, and then signing the contracts, and he would be the businessman giving you a loan or renting out the place that you're using or whatever. And finally, we're seeing the money cards. We didn't see them in the reading about the business, but we finally do have money showing up. Now, if you were expecting to, let's just say 7 represents $700 a week, it's more likely to be $600 a week for some reason, possibly for rental or utilities or something like that. So I'm hoping that you've crossed all the I's and crossed all the T's and dotted all the I's with your coming up with the business. Now, romantically, this just looks like a sit down and a chat with somebody, possibly online. You might be going somewhere with somebody, and it just looks like just talking nicely. It doesn't look like some kind of massive romantic thing. It just looks like talking, having a nice talk. This person looks very interested in you, though. I'm thinking it may be somebody from your past trying to reconnect with you coming up in May. The other things we've got in May, at the bottom of the deck. Okay, there is a lot of stress around this work in May. This could be arguments with somebody as well. Now, it could mean a male going to hospital, because the 5s represent men, and you've got a king and a jack here of the same suit, so it may be a brother, an uncle, a father figure, or actual father, grandfather. But they'd be on the lookout for this. This could be accidental happenings around a male. In regards to work, it just looks to me like legal matters, rules, regulations, insurances, all of this sort of stuff going on. But I do see that you may be having an argument with somebody in May. Okay, there may be something that you say, I'm done, I don't want to argue anymore, I'm done, this is it. The only other way to look at that is somebody that blocking you, or you're blocking somebody and having nothing to do with them for some reason. I do feel it's a male though. Moving forward in May, we have some sort of little traveling going on, going somewhere, picking things up. We have delays or frustrations around a family member or a friend that was supposed to be there. We also have where you or somebody else is learning a hard lesson here. They haven't listened and something didn't follow through. I feel also, I literally feel like you're telling somebody, this is my plan, not yours, mind your own business. So it feels kind of like that. I see also a lot of hard work in May and feeling like you're just not getting anywhere, but then finally it starts to show. We've got contracts happening, we've got money starting to come in, we've got money for the future being planned, and things are starting to happen. Now, in regards to somebody that might not be well or hospital, there is something to do with surgery here. And the last thing I'm seeing is there's possibly an announcement of a baby girl being born, but we also got a baby boy sitting here. So I'm thinking somebody that's already got a boy is having a girl, or somebody that's already got a girl is having a boy. And it would be some sort of complication with the birth. Either it's got to be cesarean, or they have a minor surgery after it. There also is something to do with be careful with your safety, because there was something to do with trips, falls, going out in the car and running over a nail and ending up with a flat tire and all of this sort of thing. Accidental sort of happenings. Nothing major, but accidental happenings. Bottom of the deck, you do have discussions quite heated with somebody that you feel passion for. It's almost like a disappointed energy. And up next we've got Crystal. So I'll just do your tarots. The buzzer's going on my wrist, so I'll just do the 3 tarots and 3 of the energy cards. What else does Alyssa need to know for May? What else does Alyssa need to know for May? I think that was the Queen of Wands jumping out, so you're going to be hard working. What else does Alyssa need to know for the month of May? Making a deal, following your dreams, and new friendships on the horizon. If this was work, this is a total turnaround here, that finally things are all happening and you're celebrating everything. If this is to do with anything to do with pregnancy and things like that, that's fertility, that's the 2 lovers creating the baby, and this is the announcement. But with work, this would be the contracts all being signed and things on their way, you being passionate about what you want to do. But you may be meeting a new friend, there may be a new romantic thing going on. And just lastly, and then we're on to Crystal. I think that's it, we'll call it quits, guys. That'll be it for the day. I don't think anybody else is coming online. Hopefully I get back online on Friday, we'll see. Our clocks have changed over here, guys, so it's 11:30 right now. Normally it would be 12:30 right now, so I'm assuming my regulars are thinking, oh, she won't be online now, it's 12:30 over there. It's actually 11:30 right now. Our clocks were on daylight savings, they've just reverted back to normal. Okay, Alyssa, last messages about May. 2, 3. You need to really seriously look at things in May, whether that be personal, health-related, work-related, romantic. This is where you need to really look, get a good vantage point and really sort of map it all out. There will be some annoying things going on here, someone ruining what you want to do, and there is something about a contract here. Now, this could be a romantic proposal from somebody that, hey, do you want to be my girlfriend? Do you want to go on a journey with me? Do you want to marry me? Whatever. I don't feel it's that because we don't have the other stuff coming up to represent marriage. I feel this is more about the contract with the job, the work that you want to do. But it also could be somebody that says that they want to go on a journey with you, something more than just friends or whatever. Okay, anyway, thank you, Alyssa. So lastly, we've got another question for Chris. May I have a general on the King of Wands and I over May, please? Okay, so we won't mention any names. I know who your King of Wands is. Let's see. Okay. I'm just going to go a little bit quiet so I can say him in my head. This is for Crystal and our Jack and King of Wands that we see. Now we will still stick to who the King of Swords is and the King of Spades, just in case that presents itself. But other than that, this focus is the 2 of you. What is coming for May for Crystal and her Jack King of Clubs? I'm just going to say it in my head, Chris. Do you remember what the cards are that represent babies, pregnancy, future? 9, the 9 months. 3, the fertility. 6, the parents. 8, the socialising, the get together. 4, baby girl or structure and planning. the first card's out. Socializing, entertaining, eating food, having a good time. 4, the planning for the future, but it's sitting right beside the 9 of Diamonds, which can represent baby girl and cesarean birth. 6, which is parenting and responsibilities. Then we have 2 black ones, meaning no, no at this point. So to me, this is like talks of a potential future, over dinner, over getting together, but this is sort of like not right now. And then we have another parenting card. Now you have double 9s and double 6s. That normally represents 2. And if we are talking about pregnancies and babies, it represents 2. All right, let's see what else comes out. But generally speaking, this is showing most of it being really lovely. Get-togethers, dinners, watching the sun come up, enjoyment, feeling like you belong together, feeling like he knows you, you know him, all of this sort of thing. This stuff here could be somebody in the background that causes drama, causes a bit of tries to put a damper over this kind of feeling, but then used to take care of that, you know, take care of the responsibilities there. All right, the King and Jack of Spades is nowhere to be seen, thank God. So this is making this all about you. We do have some discussions backwards and forwards here. We do have some jealousy going on for some reason. It's not really showing me by who. We have a lot of talking and planning going on, a lot of talks about work going on, movement going on, and truth. This is a truth card. We do have, again, with the challenge is other people in the background, but it's not bad, you know what I mean? It's only a club. It's not the spades. We don't have a big black spade sitting next to it. We also have some kind of invitation. Now, I do believe you mentioned something about a wedding coming up. This would probably be the wedding. Be prepared for some whispers and talk going on at this wedding. I feel that most people are on board with this, but there's going to be at least one that's not on board with it. Okay, so be prepared for the whispers. We also have the 2 kings here. Both of them are all about support and understanding and being there no matter what. There is an argument thing going on here. And we do have King and Jack of the same suit. So I'm wondering whether this is to do with that King of Spades, because of the attachment there, and then coming out as the same suit. So, but normally it's the Queen. So I'm just wondering, that it does look like there's some kind of argument between men. Not between you and this person. I feel that there's an argument between 2 men coming up. And it's about love and the future and where things are going to go. Now, there are some things showing me some distance. The 7 here is, this is not what you used to have planned. So something throws a spanner in the works here. Now, this is where the plans get changed by somebody else. It also can mean a distance, where you go somewhere and this person's here and you're apart. There's a distance there. There is invitations to travel and do something and movement, but it comes to a stop. It comes to a stop for now. And be prepared for the gossip and the stories and other people that are just, I can see this big connection, but I can see that it's not going to be easy, Chris, not going to be easy. A lot of hard work ahead with this. A lot of planning, a lot of paperwork, a lot of discussions that are going to go on. Yeah, so let's see what else we get with the tarots. Crystal and her Jack King of Clubs. What's coming in May for the two of them? What will May look like for Crystal and lots of discussions, lots of planning, 8 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. We also have fast action coming in from the Page of Swords. Now this to me could represent that other person and being silly, you know, impulsive or doing something, and we have this Four of Swords energy at the bottom as well. So some kind of recovery going on, some kind of just taking time out from things, okay? The challenges for you in this connection with your Jack of Clubs, your King of Clubs, is balance. Now this could represent the law around this situation. It could represent what's the right way to do all of this? How are you going to do all of this? Because it's showing the person standing on the steps of the court and justice being served, okay? So it is sitting in the challenge area of getting, well, I feel you deserve happiness. You've been through hell and back. I feel that it's about time. So getting that justice, getting things balanced. The other challenge is about an ending, about something coming to a complete stop to move forward into this new beginning. So it is that is sitting there as a challenge. That could also represent movement. Might be a challenge for you or this person. We also have the Hierophant sitting here in the challenges. Now this could be about potential marriage in the future, commitments in the future. It also could be about what's going on right now, is creating hiccups with this connection. Where things might go, there is definitely an argument coming up with somebody. We do have male energy here again, no female energy, so it's not you and this person arguing. There is somebody that's going to be told straight up. There is a lot of love coming up here, sharing of the hearts, contentment, and going forward with this journey. Also here, looking at the options and choosing one to move forward. There is a standstill energy in the future between you two with this connection. There is we just need to wait till that right timing. Then after that wait, we do have taking it to the next level with the Knight of Cups. As you know, the Knight of Cups is not just hanging out with somebody, it's taking this to a more solid level. And we do have the Eight of Swords is here. So like I said, it's not going to be easy. There is going to be some stress and some fears and some worries going on about all of this. But I don't feel that between the two of you, there's going to be any major problems. I feel that it's going to be with other people outside of this connection. Now let's just see what else you need to know, Chris. What else does Chris need to know about her connection to her Jack King of Clubs? What else does she need to know? What else is coming towards them? Top and bottom. What's my favourite card in the tarot deck and this deck? What's my favourite card? The Sun. Your last card is the Sun. The Sun. Things coming to light, things working out, things growing, things getting stronger. Your first card out was the new beginning. This is all a new beginning. You may have known this person for a very long time, but this is new. This is a new beginning. This is where you are starting from. It's also the card of the child, the babies, the children. We have luck being on your side. We have learning from past mistakes and listening to what your grandparents have to say, this person's parents have to say, listening to people who know what they're talking about, that are older than you or wiser than you, but learning from past, learning from what other people are suggesting. There is secrets going on in this connection, so I don't know whether during May it's all going to be kept close and kept within a certain area. But this can represent that the secrets are going to come out. This whole thing is going to come out. This is your sexual energy card. This is feeling like what I said yesterday about this card. If you love chocolate like I love chocolate, this is the best chocolate on the planet and you can't get enough of it. This is just yum. So there is yum between the two of you, and your final card for the day on this connection is the Sun, my favourite card in the deck. Not without its complications, Chris, but it looks good. It looks good. And the complications look like not you and this person arguing, used to getting frustrated because you just want to do what you want to do, but there's all these other things that have to be sorted out around this situation. But yeah, I do be prepared that this connection will be possibly coming out in May, okay? Maybe it needs to. And you had the child with the card that represents fertility as well. So this could be news of pregnancy coming out, this would be being wise with the choices, this would be keeping it as a secret, and this would be the growth of a baby. I didn't even realise that until I just looked at it again. Okay, everybody, that's it for the day. Donations are closed. I don't think we had anybody else come to the channel for the day. Everybody, I should be back on Friday. I don't know what's going on tomorrow. I'm hoping that maybe we go for a drive or something and just get out of the house and just do something different for once. But yeah, I'm thinking that because there's a competition on Saturday, Sunday in the city, that more than likely we will be doing this again on Friday. Can't promise that I'll be online. If I'm not online, everybody, I will be having my grandson probably Sunday or Monday, and he won't be going home till the following Monday. So happy Easter if you celebrate Easter. If you don't, happy holidays. And I should be back in about a week's time if I'm not back on Friday, okay? So we'll either see each other on Friday or it'll be at least a week. Oh, I should have checked that. I can't check it because I've got to go out of it, Chris, and it's shut. Oh, I hope I haven't... Oh, okay. Anyway, I'll have a look. Hopefully it's okay. You've got a laughy, smiley face there, so maybe it's okay. All right, take it easy and I'll talk to you guys soon.